The following is a UTV 44 sports production.
Friday night rivals.
This is the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers UTV 44 Game of the Week, presented by the Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
Feels like football weather for the first time this season. We're on Old Shell Road for a matchup of a couple unbeaten teams in region play in 4A. The UMS-Wright Bulldogs, top ranked in 4A, come in 5-0, 2-0 on the year in the region. Thomasville 4-2, but more importantly for the Tigers, they are 3-0 in region play. A couple of teams with 7 state championships between them. We'll match up here tonight on UTV 44. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partners as always, Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett, as we get ready for the matchup. And we always love when we get to see this matchup. UMS and Thomasville, great rivals within this region, Dan.
Yeah, you know, they know each other so well. They're always at the top of the region, so they scout each other like mad. They know the way to each other's stadium, no problem there, right? And a cool night, feeling more like football. Let's see what we get.
Thomasville offensively, it's going to be fun to watch their young quarterback play tonight.
Well, when you talk to Jack Hankinson, he's got so many good things to say about his quarterback. That says a lot, right?
Yep.
But this kid's in pretty good shape because his coach loves him, but the reason is he's really an exceptional player. Chad Bryant is just a junior. Looks like he's already committed to play to Mississippi State for some baseball. But this kid has been in the mix at quarterback since he was 13.
How about that?
So really a great heady player. He can throw it. He can run it. Watch the run-throw option. He can really kind of mess up a defense with that.
A guy who can run it and throw it and who keeps his eyes downfield all the time. Vic, a lot of pressure on the linebackers tonight.
Yeah, and Walker Chandler. He's not a big guy, but 5'9", comes in at 161. A senior, they tell me he's very instinctive, smart guy. You know, you can look in the pile, and at the bottom of the pile, it would be him hanging on to the ankles because he'll make the initial tackle, and then his partners will join him. So look for him to be an impact combating these guys from up the road here.
It's going to be a big test for UMS defensively tonight. They got a couple of key players that are out with injuries. We'll talk more about that as the broadcast continues. But we're about to kick things off here tonight at Ervin S. Cooper Stadium on Old Shell Road. It's the Bulldogs of UMS and the Thomasville Tigers with kickoff coming up right after this. UMS-Wright Bulldogs at home here tonight on UTV 44. Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week taking on Thomasville. And let's get on to the sidelines, get our first sideline report from Ashley Pope tonight from the orthopedic group. Big night here besides just football, Ashley.
That is true. It is homecoming night, and it finally feels like football weather. Speaking of homecoming, this school has been in homecoming mode all week. Coach Curtis will be participating in his 17th homecoming here at UMS. This week, players and students were involved in choosing Mr. Homecoming. The school has been doing carnivals all week, and they ended it this afternoon with the annual Bulldog Parade. So I think a good finish will be a win tonight from UMS.
Jonas Copen ready to kick off here tonight for Thomasville, and back deep, Grant Barber and Johnny Thornton, Ty Riccone back there. Keep your eye on Barber. He's taken 2 back for touchdowns already this year on the punt squad, and he'll take this one at the 5. Barber right up the middle of the field. Spins at the 30, breaks the tackle, 35, still on his feet. And our pregame show guest takes it to the 39. And how UMS-Wright is that? A great special teams play to start the game.
That's what they do. You know, sometimes you look down at the stat sheet, Vic Lockett, and you think, well, they didn't really dominate here or there. And then you say, well, what happened during special teams? Well, we kept getting in great field position, or we blocked a punt, or something happens for UMS-Wright. But the great thing about Thomasville is, Jim, they're aware of all of that.
Thomasville comes in again, a couple of losses on the year against Demopolis and Saraland last week. As we look at Terry Curtis, we'll talk all about that gaudy record, 183-43 here in his 17th season. And Tanner Allen will give it off. Now they'll pitch it back to Barber coming on the near side. He's got a lot of green in front of him. Barber's got a first down and more for UMS inside the 40 of the Tigers down to the 38.
Right off the bat, they come out with a little trick, doing a reverse to get them in great field position.
Here's our Greer starting lineup. Parker, Woodford, Plash. Boy, we've had some Plashes come through here at UMS on TV. Milling and Blakely Addison on the right side there at 335. Wide receivers, Stimson on the outside. Barber, they get the tight end. Chauncey Collier in action a lot. Courtney will do the blocking for Matthews back there, who's having a great season. And Tanner Allen, the LSU baseball commit, junior quarterback, He's going to keep this one and lost the football, and it's still loose, picked up by the Thomasville Tigers, and they've got the turnover at the 48-yard line. Ball bounced out of his hands and right up into the hands of Zach Woodard, and the junior linebacker gets the turnover, and Thomasville's got great field position.
And if you take a look at it, he decides to keep it there, but doesn't secure the football, and it pops out right there then, and the linebacker picks it up, and he's trying to head in the other direction and try to get Thomasville on top real quick.
Yeah, Tucker Brazil was the one who knocked it free. And a rare miscue. Terry Curtis is wondering if he was down on the play.
They won't get a chance to review or throw the red flag in this level of football, Jim.
Yeah, they wish they could have last week.
So they're going to say he is down as the UMS offense stays out on the field.
Wait a minute now.
And the defense, and now Jack Hankins is all the way out past the numbers on the far side saying, what's going on here?
Yeah, he's not even putting this squad out there until he gets an explanation.
Well, what's the call?
Let's take a look. I think they're going to say that he was down. Clearly not. That's a fumble.
Well, everybody on the UMS-Wright side knows for sure it was a fumble because he fumbled right in front of them. Wow. Second week in a row we've had a possession call go the wrong way.
Oh, Jack Hankins is livid. I wonder if he might take I think they're just giving him time to get over to the sideline there. Wow, and that wasn't even close to not being down.
No.
Boy, a great play by the Thomasville defense thwarted there.
I'll be honest with you, I don't know how that many referees could have missed that.
And now the officials having a little conference here. Now if you're Jack Hankins and Thomasville, you got to make sure your guys kind of keep it together here and not be rattled by that turnover.
I'll be honest with you, they weren't together before the right?
Yeah.
Long kickoff return, reverse. They were on skates to start with.
You get the big play there and then
big turnover. Boy, that's.
Now it looks like Hankins may have got it in their head a little bit, got the refs thinking a little bit.
We've not got an explanation.
And why is the ball moved up? I don't know what happened. Unless they think UMS.
Well, they think he fumbled right after he broke the line of scrimmage there. Or right there at the line of scrimmage.
Was it right at that point?
But now they're saying it's first down. So unless
they think UMS recovered the fumble.
Well,
UMS, it's almost like, like Thomasville got it and UMS got it back.
Yeah, but
Thomasville was the last with it.
And they were up near midfield. They're up at the 48. Wow. Huh. So no gain.
Yeah.
Well, in the books, we got to go from here, guys. Odd way of starting it out, though.
So 2nd and 10.
Thomasville would call a lot of things. Odd would not be one of them.
Now Allen will throw out, looking for Barber on the far side, and he's got a step. No, he's got Chauncey Collier who dives in for the touchdown. Chauncey Collier got a step on the DB, and a 38-yard touchdown strike has the Bulldogs on top.
Well, and may I mention, you got a lot of folks in jackets and coats tonight. That's because of a wind coming from the north. He throws it right into the wind and lines it up beautifully.
He dropped it in there perfectly, Tanner Allen did.
Walker Shaw on for the PAT. 10th touchdown pass of the year.
Tanner Allen, in a small sample, he looks, like he could play for a lot of people.
Barber to hold, high snap. And a wild first minute 38 of this one here on Old Shell Road. UMS with a quick score. They have the lead 7-0. Allen to Collier for the touchdown. UMS on top. We're still up here scratching our head as to what the heck happened there on that fumble.
Well, at higher levels, you've got explanation ends up to the booth.
Right.
But sometimes high school football, you've got, right now the referee's got a big enough problem just trying to keep Hankins on the chain.
Right, yeah, and you understand why.
Yeah, you really do.
So you go from forcing a turnover. Momentum is such a big part of it. Here's the replay again. So watch, so here's Tanner Allen. There's the ball loose.
He doesn't have it.
And he's not touched. And he's not touched when he picks it up at all when Woodard got it. And that would have been Woodard's fourth turnover of the season. He's got 3 interceptions already this year. Walker Shaw kicked this one off. And this one bounces and goes out of bounds. Ooh. That was dangerous there for Thomasville, letting that ball bounce.
Yeah, I think that's the point of the kick. You know, you put them in a situation where they're trying to figure out exactly what to do.
Because of that indecision, Thomasville's going to line up with some decent field position with the penalty tacked on.
Yeah, Thomasville, you know, early on, it appears that Thomasville would be wise to move the chains and keep the ball away from UMS-Wright. Because that offense looked very together.
So we'll see.
Aside from the turnover that wasn't called.
Chad Bryant, and at quarterback, rolls to his right, has lots and lots of time, zips it, nearly knocked down, then through the receiver's hands as well, as Ty Racconi had a shot at that one. There's Jack Hankins. He is his dad, a great coach who took Millport to 2 state championships, and there's Jack Hankins, won the state in 2010 for Thomasville, and
we were there. It's a good-looking athlete at quarterback, guys.
Zips it out the far side, able to get that one off complete, breaking a tackle and forced out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. Byron Hosea with his 26th catch of the year and a flag over on the sidelines at the end of that one. And there's some jawing going on from the Thomasville side out toward the field there.
I think they're going to get him for a little bit of hidden outside of the bounds, so we will tack on some more yardage for Thomasville.
Yeah, Hosea, 26 catches on the year. Personal foul against the Bulldogs. That'll move it into UMS territory up to the 46-yard line.
Personal foul, late hit out of bounds on the red team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Mike Beckton, our referee here tonight. We haven't seen him in a game in quite a while. Good to see him before the game. Let's watch here at the end. Oh yeah, definitely a late hit by KJ Trewick there. This game's got an odd feel to it early on here.
It does. This is not a pleasant picnic.
Trying to get that handoff off. Great penetration by the Bulldogs.
There's that guy, Walker Chandler, in there early. He says he's got those instincts, and right there, he certainly sniffed that one out.
Trying to get it to Osborne and nothing doing. Up front for Thomasville, brought to you by Greer's, Bridges, Wood, Canty, Costin, and Salisbury. Wide receivers, Keyshawn Austin, Blake Green on the outside. Hosea is really a guy they get into a lot. Bryant, the quarterback, and Osborne there, and Grant Duron moves from guard to H-back tonight. Now we get a flag before this one dropped over on the Thomasville side. Could be motion on Thomasville prior to the snap. Let's check in with Ashley for another Orthopedic Group sideline report. What the heck happened down there, Ashley?
The official evidently blew the whistle before the fumble even occurred, so the play was dead before it even had started.
Yeah, I get when the whistle is blown, that's it. But I don't know why you would blow the whistle there. But
yeah, he wasn't driving the pile or pushing the pile where they normally do that. So
that was quick. That was quick.
Yeah, good work by Ashley to get that for us. That's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, but it made no sense.
Right.
The whistle made no sense, but the explanation was the only possible thing.
2nd and 17 after the 2-yard loss on first down, and then the 5-yard penalty. Bryant has time again. Pressure from the backside, steps up, he's going to be hit and dropped all the way back at the 40. Nowhere to go as the Bulldogs with all kinds of pressure coming from the inside, a little bit from the edge as well.
Yeah, they got the soccer player coming off the edge. Number 11, Jack Blankenship. First year of football here at UMS-Wright, was playing soccer, but he's a big athletic kid, 6'3", 190.
Thomas Iturbe got the sack on that one. Watts, Blankenship, who Dan talks about on the outside. Chandler, Trewick, Breland, and Racconi, the rover. Pugh's got 3 interceptions on the year. Golf, Myers, and Thornton, who was our guest on the pregame show. And now 3rd and 22. And Thomasville on the quarterback draw. Bryant gets up to about the 48-yard line. Not much doing there. Thomasville derailed after the penalty and the loss.
Is Belichick and the Patriots that say do your job?
Yep.
That's UMS-Wright's defense, isn't it, Vic?
Yeah.
They all do their job.
They're going to be where they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be, and it doesn't hurt to have a guy like Chandler on the side that's got those instincts to just find the football.
Boy, they don't hurt themselves, that's for sure. They compete.
There's a lot of talk about KJ Trewick, too. I'm real proud of that young man.
Darian Nevels will punt. Barber back to take the rugby-style kick. This one a low kick. And bouncing, you can hear the coaches telling him to get away from it at the 25. And UMS
Peter
will come out. They were yelling Peter. Don't forget, all season long, you can follow us on Facebook. Search UTV44 High School Football Game of the Week on Instagram as well. UTV44_GOTW. It's our Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week here on UTV44. Let's see if this settles into a little more routine here. But how about that impressive performance by that UMS defense on the first drive here?
Yeah, I mean, impressive by everything with UMS so far. They get the break, of course, with the call, but they certainly cashed in on the next play for the long touchdown, and they look good. And Thomasville is all over the line of scrimmage.
Matthews on the right side gets maybe one, nothing doing there as he goes on the right side trying to go behind Millings and Addison.
They're playing zero coverage there. We saw that in the state championship game.
And we reminded Jack of that when we saw him on the field.
I said, then a guy 5'5" goes 80 yards on you. He said, well, Brendan, is that the one play you remember?
Crocker champion in Brazil. And you got linebackers Downey, Woodard, Hayes, and Thompson. Boy, there's been some Hayes that have come through Thomasville and made big plays for them. Allen, Burrows, Dunn, and Ja'Cory Lee round out the starters for Jack Hankins' Thomasville Tigers on 2nd and 9. Allen going to keep it, trying to turn the near corner, and he gets his legs taken out from him at the 30-yard line as Ja'Cory Lee came up to make the stop.
See a little fight in these guys from Thomasville, too.
You know, we were in the locker room, the UMS locker room before the game, hearing Coach Curtis talk to his squad before warm-ups, and he went through some things on his list, but he said, I'll tell you one thing, you are going to get Thomasville's best effort tonight.
Yep, he did, and of all the teams in the region, Thomasville is usually the one that can physically match up, and they've got a great coaching staff, and they've given the Bulldogs some fits.
You know, I would imagine UMS gets that all the time.
Yes. Looking to pass. Allen on the near side was looking for Easton Russ, and it's overthrown and incomplete.
You know, if you would say, you know, they've got sort of a dynasty here, and when you become the dynasty, you come to hunt it, and I'm sure they've got targets on them. Everybody circles them on the schedule when they're getting ready to play.
Terry Curtis, 97-9 in region play since he's come here. I mean, that's just
unbelievable.
But 5 state championships, but it's also made everybody else in the region get better. I mean, it really, he changed this region when he came here.
It's either kill or be killed.
And at this point, Thomasville's the one team, though, that can hit the target.
Yep. Chauncey Collier with an end-over-end kick that's down at the 40, and Thomasville forces a 3-and-out.
Well, there's no doubt that is a proud program, and they've got some championships, too, don't they? Their belt, don't they?
Absolutely.
One in particular that we saw.
2010. We'll take a timeout. Exactly halfway through the opening quarter, it's the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week here on UTV 44. Homecoming week, cheerleaders been busy all week here at UMS-Wright, and we're busy here tonight with this one. Halfway through the first quarter, UMS on top 7-0. Thomasville with good field position. And Chad Bryant will take the snap from at the 35 from the 40, going to keep it. He gets to the line of scrimmage and falls forward, and there is not much room there up the middle. And again, Thomas Aturbe, senior, in there to lead the charge for the Bulldogs. KJ Trewick also in there. Bryant, 5'11", 180, just turned 16.
Wow.
young kid, and played some as a freshman at age 13 in a playoff game.
Yeah.
Up in Dadeville. It's just tough. Gain of 1. Bryant flares this one over the head of
everybody.
Yeah, he was looking for Byron Hosea, but then as Riccone came up, kind of made him alter the throw because it's like Riccone was there looking for his second interception of the season, and 3rd and long coming up for Thomasville.
He's got good mechanics. He has the football in the right position, the release spot. got it cocked and ready to go. Just trying to find a receiver has been the problem.
This UMS team allowing only 94 yards of offense a game.
Yeah, they're stingy.
Bryant, some pressure coming, rolls out to the right. Still on his feet, looking downfield. Now all kinds of pressure, still on his feet, and finally gets brought down. Good coverage downfield by the DBs of UMS. Bryant not getting rattled.
Yeah, Coach Hankins says he's poised and got ice in his veins. You can see it right there. Just not concerned about the rush, still keeping his eyes down the field, but just not able to find anybody open.
Yeah, I don't think they are open. I don't think they are.
UMS has got the door shut.
You got UMS with some, cornerback Pugh is 5'8". The other corner, Johnny Thornton, he's 5'7", a 5'9". Safety back there, so they're not big guys, but they are on them like glue. Low snap, pressure coming. Riccone almost got it. Barber calls for a fair catch at the 34. Boy, Riccone was so close to getting that one.
How many of those have we seen?
Yeah. Other action last night. St. Paul's over Williamson 35-6. Bryant and McGill Tulin playing tonight. Everybody back in region play. Foley and Baker, Murphy and Davidson, Fairhope and Daphne. A big battle over on the Eastern Shore. Two teams trying to kind of get themselves with some momentum going again. Saraland and Citronelle, Gulf Shores and LaFleur tonight. Viger and Jackson. That'll be a good one up in Jackson. T.R. Miller and Opp. Leroy and Sweetwater. A busy schedule here on the first Friday in October. Matthews up the right side and more, and he's out right at near midfield. A first down for the Bulldogs. Well, he runs really tall. I mean, he runs really straight up and down.
Yeah. Last runner that UMS-Wright that looked anything like that was the young guy that ended up going to Marshall.
Terrell Edwards?
Yep.
Edwards?
Terrell Edwards.
Yep.
Right. Big back, closer to 200 pounds.
Well, Matthews stands about 6 feet tall, 196, so not a short guy.
No, big guy.
Up to the 49. Barber in motion, they fake it to him. Rolling out wide open. Collier, the play they scored a touchdown on earlier. This time they'll get it inside the 20.
Yeah, it was open from the snap. He just seemed to run by the DBs, running that route there.
32 yards.
And again, Tanner just drops it in his basket to catch it there. Just didn't get him in stride where he could have turned it upfield.
12th catch of the season.
Tough throw by Tanner to be rolling and throwing like that.
And it is a brisk wind that he's thrown into, as Dan alluded to earlier.
We talked about it before the game and really thought that'd be a factor trying to move the ball in that direction. Not so far, not to Tanner Allen.
Bulldogs in the Papa John's delivery zone. Use promo code RIVALS to get 2 large, 2 topping pizzas for $7.77 each. And Matthews to the 15.
Yeah, running that little trap play up the middle. They are definitely trapping that in and having some space to work with in there. And Matthews just goes straight ahead with it.
Good to be back here, Jim.
Yeah,
Vic, right?
Yeah, and another one of these nice palaces here on
Friendly
Old Shell,
confines.
where they only sell Angus full beef hot dogs. No byproducts in those dogs.
2nd and 5. Barber sheds a tackle. Now he's not going to have anywhere to go. Drop back at the 24-yard line. Made the first one miss, but then Zach Woodard and the rest of the crew there from Thomasville to make the stop.
Yeah, Zach Woodard, the 16-year-old the coach was talking about, say he's still learning, but pretty good football player at 6 feet 225. He gets in here and cleans his trash up, keeps his feet moving with that back, don't ever stop, shoulder square.
Loss of 7.
That'll put you in a good position to make a play like that.
Gunner Champion in there on the tackle as well, and he moves quickly to the top of the all-name team for the 2015 season.
Yeah, I like that.
7-yard loss, 3rd and 12. Allen zipped it to the far side. Barber's got it right at the sticks, and he's got the catch and the first down.
Yeah, good pass again by Tanner there. The defensive back wanted to undercut it, but just didn't have enough speed to get there.
How about the awareness from Barber knowing where the sticks are as well?
A good route.
His dad, Doug Barber, the principal, right over here in the booth next to us.
Nice catch there.
That was a nice catch. You know?
In the NFL, they wouldn't have counted it, though.
First and goal from the 9. High snap. Allen wants to keep it, and he's hit after a gain of 1. Time for another sideline report from the orthopedic group. Ashley.
I have Palmer Lavelle down here. I couldn't help but notice the chains on him. He is a 6th grader. He's also one of the 2 team managers for UMS. Every year, the UMS football players all get a lock. They all connect it with their name on it. He does not take it off. They stick together the whole season, and he's the one that gets to wear it day in and day night.
Does he get to take it off?
Do you take it off to sleep?
At some point?
No, I do not.
He sleeps with it. Do you take a bath with it?
No.
Don't answer that.
You
Don't
would know
answer that.
I think you would know if he didn't, Ashley. You would,
Well, there's a lot of football players.
2nd and goal from the 8. Barber with the reception, makes a move at the 5. How about the moxie of this young man? He is fun to watch play.
He got a little
Has some
jitterbug
juke in his
there.
step there, yeah.
He's quick, and, at that size, you got to have something, and he uses his quickness and his moxie to mix it up and miss hits, too.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When you're 5'7", 152, you ain't going to run over anybody, so you better make them miss.
Going to Mississippi College to play baseball. That was a nice move there.
Yeah, he made him go to his knees there.
3rd and goal from the 1, and now we see KJ Trewick and some others in there to block in front and up and over the top for the touchdown goes Matthews, number 10 on the year.
Full power formation by the UMS offense. Go straight ahead, up and over.
Chandler comes in, Russ Myers comes in, Trewick comes with.
Nothing new.
Yeah, like the Sopranos in the old days that you used to refer to him as
talk
here.
about the Soprano package. They bring in all the tough guys off the corner. The defense knows what's coming when that package comes in.
No doubt. Walker Shaw here to try the PAT to make it a 14-0 lead. Hit that one. No good. Push that one to the right. Surprising there. Only the 2nd PAT miss on the season for UMS-Wright. And so it's 13-0, but Matthews with a touchdown put the Bulldogs on top by 2 scores.
Here's Bibby.
Matthews with the touchdown. It's 13-0. Got some folks, gotta say hi to. Got some folks checking in. The cool night here. Our Aaron scoring summary: 7 plays, 66 yards, 333, and Matthews with a 1-yard touchdown carry. Great night for maybe roasting marshmallows. Right now we got Scott Cooper and his daughter Courier sitting over in Point Clear, roasting marshmallows.
Wow.
And watching a little UMS-Wright. Scott went to UMS, and Curry, who we call Smalls, says go Dogs. So they're enjoying it over in Point.
Great.
We got some folks.
And not Georgia Bulldogs, Dan.
I promise you, Scott Cooper is not saying that. I can promise you, those words have only come out of his mouth referring to UMS-Wright.
I understand completely.
And we got a bunch of folks at hunting camps checking in, watching the broadcast as well. We'll get to that in a moment. Kick dropped at the 31 and recovered by Thomasville.
A little sloppy there on the special team.
But that was an odd kick. You don't see a kick that doesn't go end over end usually. That was more of a sideways spiral. So here's the region standings. Thomasville unbeaten in the region on the year, 3-0. UMS-Wright trying to get there tonight. Monroe County 2-1. WS Neal 1-1. And then you got Satsuma, Clark County, and Southside Selma. Next week, UMS at Southside Selma. There's Terry Curtis.
He's always going to get the benefit of the doubt in terms of the calls, I would think.
He's a dean of high school coaching around here, Hall of Famer, and just always love getting a chance to work with TC. Now, Bryant pitches it back. Osborne, nowhere to go as UMS strings that one along and no corner to turn on the far side.
Yeah, I should say a Vic's buddy, Walker Chandler, again, they just disrupted, and that thing was just wrong from the get-go. They were bad angles for the offense. They just, were not running it toward the line of scrimmage, and that was the UMS defense pushing that whole play back in the backfield.
Yeah, take a look at Walker Chandler. Good football player for this group.
Wow, behind the chains, it's 2nd and 16. Give up the middle. Osborne doesn't get back to the original line of scrimmage, and now 3rd and long coming up here for Thomasville.
Yeah, you thought that play was going to be successful, but Ty Raccoon, am I saying that correct?
Racconi, there's an
Racconi.
Came up to
Makes
make
a play there.
Yep, he's had a good season for the Bulldogs as we're inside 20 seconds. They don't have to snap it. We'll see if the Tigers snap one before the quarter ends. You'd think they might want to wait and get the wind at their back, but
they've got the wind at their back.
Oh, they do have it. You're right. That's why they wanted to snap it. Now fired, and that one's picked off. Picked off at the 45 and up to the 39-yard line. Jack Pugh with the interception, his 4th of the year. And a flag at the end of the play, but a poor decision by Bryant on this one.
Yeah, what he did is just read his eyes there. He's keeping his eyes upfield, but then as soon as he releases it, he just comes up and say, I'll take that and go the other direction. And UMS ball, and no question about it, unless there was a penalty prior to the pass.
He gets the heavyweight belt after that one. I don't think he had it on during the play, I'm pretty sure. It must be a turnover belt. We'll get Ashley on that one to find out about that. It's his 4th interception of the season, and we'll take a timeout as we are through the first quarter of play. It's the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week here on UTV 44, and this interception helped preserve the 13-0 UMS lead. Through one quarter, it is a happy homecoming here for the UMS-Wright Bulldogs. As we start the second quarter after the interception by Jack Pugh, UMS with it at the 49 of the Tigers, and now Thomasville needs a stop here. This one's, you can kind of feel the train starting to go down the tracks a bit.
Yeah, and they put this one on a silver platter for the Bulldogs too with this field position, so Thomasville is definitely reeling a little bit.
Matthews up the middle and pushes the pile to the 43. We saw the championship belt. Let's get an orthopedic group sideline report from Ashley and find out about it.
Jim, I actually did notice them earlier. You can't help but notice the bling on them. There's one for defense, one for offense, and the other team manager gets to hold them until one of the defense players does an awesome play like they just did with that interception or an offensive play. So right now I'm holding the offensive one, and maybe I guess I'll do a good play for them tonight.
We'll see if they come up with a big play here and someone else gets to take the belt. As Matthews up the middle. He took a big lick there and gains 1 and 3rd down coming up. I like the belt. I love the championship belt.
I like that.
That was a championship belt that Woodard just laid on there as well.
A couple of good athletes. This kid right here, he may end up really getting some serious looks. Just a junior, a young junior in terms of how much football he's played. And look at the contact that he can make.
Yeah, you remember the coach his eyes kind of lit up when I brought his name up.
Yep. Up the middle. Matthews gets close and then pushed back, and he's going to be about a yard short of the first down here.
I like the toughness of Matthews. He's a big, strong kid, and he just shoots it up there.
Yeah, he runs with authority, and he's looking for a little contact, and if it's not, it's like he wants to take it to the house.
4th and 1, Jim.
4th and 1 from the 40, and UMS doesn't even hesitate.
They can do anything here. I mean, they've got faith in this quarterback. You can get tricky and try to get 6.
They might just go quarterback sneak instead. They get the easy one as Gunner Champion comes across too soon.
Do that too.
Yep.
You know, when you've got trust in your quarterback, you can do a lot of different things on 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, like that.
Well, I'll tell you what set that up is how the UMS got together and got excited and
came out of the huddle so quickly.
Yes, yeah, you know, so they did their part selling it before they even got to the line of scrimmage, and looked like they were really getting to play together and excited about running it. No, we're just going to go up here and hard count.
It's those little things.
Yeah, you know, you got the biggest down of the game so far, and they went up tempo through Thomasville off.
Matthews get him around the ankles, and he'll get 1 on that one. Ryan Downey in on the stop. Reed Crocker there as well.
Nice play by those guys going low. You hit this guy high, it's going to be like an Uber ride.
Yo, well, he looks like when they hit him low, he's still going forward. You know, it looks like his upper body's still going.
He's got a lot of drive.
So it's like, hey, let's tackle him high, let's tackle him low, and in the middle too.
Trewick into block as they fire Chauncey Collier across the middle of the field. He's got it in his 2nd touchdown of the night, 34 yards. And the Bulldogs on top big on this one, and now they'll go for 2 to try to get it to 21-0.
Yeah, that's something else. It's been a while. It's been since Dial that they've had a big, good-looking tight end like this that they can use.
They just made that safety miss and take a bad angle, and it was nothing else behind it.
Yeah. Preston Dial had a great career here, and of course on up at Alabama.
Yep.
winning a national championship or 2.
Yep. Saw a great picture of him on Twitter the other day, smoking cigars after one of the one of the wins. All the players were together.
Oh, back in the day.
Yep. Rolling
Must have been a Tennessee game.
Look, exactly. Rolling and looking for 2. Down back of the end zone, wide open, and it's dropped. Wow, right through the hands of Easton Russ.
And actually Woodard ends up with it, but can't return that one for any points at all.
Wow, right through his hands.
Put it in the books as an interception, I guess.
The 2-point conversion does not count.
You rarely see a nice easy pass right to the breadbasket.
Yeah.
Intercepted, let alone dropped. Watch what happens.
Just didn't finish the catch. Oh, and then
crazy.
And the defender kind of hit the ball as well to kind of pop it out of there.
How about if that was a bigger play at the end of the game? That'd be crazy, huh?
Wow.
Because everybody assumed that was points right there for UMS.
And for a beat, it was.
19-0 Bulldogs. Hey, we got more Bulldog fans checking in up at Hal's Lake Hunting Club, a couple hours north. I think it's up close to Jackson, maybe.
Okay.
We got Frank Lott is there. Ty Bullard, former Bulldog, is up there. Brad Elliott watching the game. They all got their kids with them. They're around the campfire. They say watching the game. 4 plays, 49 yards on our Aaron's scoring summary.
I would say 2 hours north of here, you'd want to be near a campfire.
It's probably down in the 30s up there, right?
I was going to
probably.
Your kind of weather, right, Jim?
Yeah,
Being from Chicago, you're loving it, right?
Yeah, not a.
It'll make you feel at home, my guy.
He left home.
Yeah,
and nobody cries.
And he's not owning it. He's not even claiming it anymore, right?
No. As long as I've known him.
Figured that out early.
All right, Vic, what's Thomasville got to do to kind of right this ship?
Well, they got to string together a couple of first downs to give their defense a little bit of rest, you think, and just kind of get their offense clicking.
Kick at the 11. Hosea comes up. You see UMS trying to rip that ball out of there, and he's up to the 28.
You know, I guess this is why this term was invented, because it's mid-season, and UMS-Wright looks like they're in mid-season form. I mean, they look like they are together.
Well, I tell you what, I got a chance to speak to these guys preseason, and they go to this Camp Grace and spend some time together in the preseason. I mean, and they're starting to, build some camaraderie, and they're talking about offense, they're talking about defense, they're meeting all day. That does wonders for teams. I mean, that's why the NFL has their preseason, and they lock them up and get them all together and control their whole day. Well, these guys do it as well, so you're starting to see the fruits of that labor right now.
Hosea goes out with the injury. He's our leading receiver. Bryant gives it off. Osmond with nowhere to go, maybe to the 31.
Jerry had me speak to the team the day after Vic, but I was just there to read the lunch menu.
Hey, you didn't invite me? Hey, talking about lunch and food? I thought I was your friend, Dan.
I thought it was my day in the spotlight, Vic. Come on, 99.
Hayden Dunn, starting safety, comes over, and now movement on the offensive side to replace
Big Jerry McBridge is ready to throw a block, but got to wait until the snap.
Blankenship is a kid.
Dead ball, false start on the offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Yes, sir, Buck. He's been playing soccer all this time here, and so he's excited like a puppy,
jumping up and down before the snap.
I mean, he's really excited to be playing football, because really for him, this is his senior year, and he decided to give it a shot. He's loving it.
6'1", 6'3", 191 pounds.
Busting up inside, doing a good job.
Osmond there gets back to the line of scrimmage, but no more. Again, third and about 13 coming up for Thomasville.
One thing that Vic Lockett's pointed out so accurately is that when the young quarterback, Bryant, tries to look downfield, nobody's open. I mean, what do you do?
Osmond came in tonight averaging 91 yards a game. And he's going to have to work hard to get to that. He's been shut down here in the first half.
We've seen some good running backs out of Thomasville, too.
Thomasville might have been moving before that snap. Far side, fired and complete. Blake Green with his 4th catch of the season, and he's got the first down for the Tigers out near midfield.
Well, just as you said, Dan, we find their receiver finally get open for Thomasville, and Chandler delivers the ball. Bryant delivers the football.
Looked like there might have been some movement before the snap.
Yeah,
on
that did not look right at all. It's like everybody moved except the center. Good catch there, keeps his feet in. That may be their first down, wouldn't you think?
Second one?
Yep.
And this is what they need right there.
Sure.
Just feed it off tackle. Give the quarterback a little breather where he doesn't feel like the whole world's on his shoulders.
Pick up a 4. 2nd and 6 here. Bryant, again, is committed to play baseball at Mississippi State, the quarterback for Thomasville.
Both quarterbacks committed to play baseball in the SEC.
Pressure coming. Bryant going to be dropped. Another big loss there.
And Walker Chandler again applied the initial pressure to get him off his block.
And then the other Walker, Breland, comes in there to make the tackle.
And he just cleans it up. Chad had to step right into it.
Loss of 7. We'll make it a loss of 9 on the play. 3rd and 13. Bryant will pull it down, looking to slip behind his lineman, and gets to the original line of scrimmage. And 4th and 10 coming up here for Thomasville. Boy, each drive they've had that one play, whether it's a pre-snap penalty or just the sack, it's just derailing the offense, and so they'll bring Neville's out to punt again.
Yeah, they've just been consistently behind the chains and just not getting in front of them.
Barber will stand at the 25. He's taken 2 punts back for touchdowns this year.
I can see why.
Pressure coming. They nearly got it again. That was Thornton. And Barber with a fair catch, and then he's dropped. And that'll be a flag at that one. It was kind of a late fair catch signal and a quick one, but he got it up in time. And so it'll be a penalty tacked onto this one, and it'll move UMS out near the 40-yard line. Let's watch.
I noticed it with my eyes.
Yeah.
Ooh, wow.
Wow, that's such a dangerous play when you're not expecting to be hit. Let's send it down. So we'll get the call from Mike Beckton. Here, he did get the arm up. His dad, Doug Barber, in the booth next to us over here.
I wonder how he made that call on the air.
Yeah, they might have thrown a flag on him, on his dad, for the reaction to that one.
Personal foul on the kicking team. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Moves it up to the, let's watch, here's a good look at it. Gets there's the quick fair catch, but definitely a legal fair catch signal, and then Tyshawn Hayes just, runs him over.
Don't know how Hayes missed that. He was looking right at him.
Yeah, he was right there in front. Bad play there.
Rolling out, looking to the near side. Wide open is Barber, and he dives for it. He's got it at the 25.
Hey, he just beat his man there, and I'm telling you, Tanner just put it out there for him to run under, and he did it.
At 5'7", he used every inch of that frame to make that diving catch there.
Yeah, he walks in if the pass is right to him. But man, I don't know if that was a double move or what, but we've had a lot of cornerbacks on the Thomasville team looking back at the play.
Yes.
Getting beat badly.
That was the sophomore Ja'Cory Lee who had Barber get behind him, and the Bulldogs driving again to the 25. And Tanner Allen, he's got an awful clean jersey back there. They have not got to him, against any type of pressure.
Against competition like this, how good does UMS-Wright look tonight?
Allen rolls out, has all kinds of time, wide open, looks to the far side, up, and does he hold on? He does. Now we get the signal for the touchdown. Easton Russ, his first of the season.
Well, he had his choice there. He had a man in the flat that was open short, but he elects to go for the deep one and gets the money catch down there to get the touchdown. Great choice by him as well.
UMS will go for 2 again here.
Yeah.
Right. Try to chasing the points after the second touchdown, after the PAT was missed. Wow. How about the night Tanner Allen's having so far? watch.
Need a calculator.
We got Brian Allen working over here. Get us updated stats on
His fingers got blisters over there punching the keypad.
He's not in midseason form. They give. Now a jump pass over the middle, tipped and knocked down as they gave it off to Michael Matthews, who tried to get it to Collier for the 2-point conversion, and UMS fails again, but they have the lead 25-0. And let's go back down to Ashley. This time it's the Faulkner State Community College Educator Spotlight.
I have Charles Alfred, the principal at Thomasville High School. Not so much positive going on right now on the field, but if we go to the education point of view of Thomasville, tell me a little bit about your state-of-the-art welding program you'll have partnership with.
We're very excited about that. We're partnered with Alabama Southern, and we have students that are able to earn credentials by going through the welding program. They're in a block schedule, so they're able to learn their welding skills here and then graduate and already be recruitable and ready for one more year of college so that they'll have their welding degree.
Wow. And back to the athletic side, I know as I drive down the highway, your school's located down the hill and you can just see the state-of-the-art facilities.
Yeah.
Tell our viewers, because we don't get to see that a lot, just tell our viewers what you have at Thomasville.
Well, first of all, our football field's a lot like this one, big, huge stands, plenty of room, spacious. Everywhere is a great seat. There are no bad seats. Our baseball field is just kind of sunken down in a bowl. Great view. Our basketball gym just got a new floor, air conditioning. We're state of the art and moving forward always.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us and coming down to Mobile tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, and we're going to do the
Thomasville will start at about the 18-yard line, and they got to get something going here offensively.
Yeah, just can't continue to play behind the sticks like they have. They have got to do a better job of stringing together some first downs.
And with 5:08 left here in the second quarter, they've been able to get nothing going offensively. UMS ranked number 1 in 4A, and boy, they have looked every bit of it tonight here.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams in 4A who are going to be chasing this team. They look as solid as any UMS-Wright team we've seen in years. And, of course, they've been having one great year after another.
Bryan on the keeper, able to get by Blankenship and cross Chandler and up to about the 25-yard line.
They got a little bit more of that. Some positives there on the first down. Make it about 2nd and 6. So now they got something to work with here.
Yeah, they need anything, some momentum to go here to get going. And we see Byron Jose is back in the game. He's at the slot. They look to him when they put it in the air. Now Bryant wants to keep it. He gets hit low, and good penetration by Walker Chandler there. We should have highlighted him in the pregame show. Oh, we did. That's right. You're thinking, Nick Lockett. Let's go back down to Ashley for another sideline report from the orthopedic group. She's going to tell us about the Scholastic Athlete of the Week from Thomasville.
That is right. I have the principal with me once again because Seth Downey is busy on the field, and Alexander Shannara is the one that sponsors all this, and we just want to highlight this part because we find it very important. And if you could just tell me a little bit about Seth. I know he plays football, baseball. As a principal, what does that mean to you?
Well, first of all, he's held to a higher standard. He has practiced basically all year long. He has to stay in shape, and he has to maintain his grades. And he's at the top of his class, and I would put him on the academic scale of anyone with over a 4.0 GPA. So he's just an excellent kid, just a natural-born leader. And we're just so proud of him and his accomplishments.
You sound like a proud daddy. Well, on behalf of the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara, we'd like to award Seth this plaque and a $250 scholarship.
That's great. On behalf of Seth and his family, we're so appreciative. Thank you.
Low snap goes back by the punter. Ball still loose and all the way still loose. Picked up at the 6 and in for a UMS touchdown. Dalton Golf picked it up. Darian Nevels couldn't get the low snap, bobbled it, tried to pick it up, and squirted around loose. Dalton Golf picked it up and in for a special teams UMS touchdown.
Yeah, special teams UMS. Again, you know what? I'm telling you, watching what we watched, preparing for this game, Thomasville played better last week against Saraland.
Yeah.
I mean, this is just a complete dismantling by UMS-Wright.
Yeah, the meltdowns continuing, and that's why they call them special teams, because they are very special. You can score very quick on them, and as you see, UMS does.
UMS this time brings Will Maitre on to kick, and he's got the PAT, and it's now 32-0 UMS lead. While we didn't get a chance to finish up on Seth Downey there because the touchdown interrupted us, but Seth Downey, the Scholastic Athlete of the Week, 4.06 GPA, plays football and baseball, Vice President of Brothers and Sisters in Christ, member of the FCCLA, and he's going to Auburn after this, so congratulations to Seth Downey, our Scholastic Athlete of the Week from our friends at the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara. And there he is out there, and he and his teammates need to get something going. Wow.
Yeah, last drive I was thinking, you know, they just want to at least take something positive into the locker room. They ended up with a 4th and 2, and then instead of something positive, look
disaster.
What disaster.
Yeah, very negative.
Yeah.
Absolute opposite of positive. It's one thing to turn it over on special teams, but it's another thing to turn it over and get a score.
Maitre.
Give up a score.
On the kick.
Visiting with his dad before the game, Mike Maitre.
Low kick taken at the 21, and Tyshawn Hayes out of bounds.
Maitre from a great family of dentists. His dad's a dentist, his granddad's a dentist, his uncle's a dentist. He'll be at least a hygienist at the very least.
Hey, time for our New Horizons Credit Union trivia question. Last night, this was kind of a big night in the state of Alabama. Hoover was shut out 17-0 by Spain Park. Prior to that, when was the last time they were held scoreless?
Tell you what, I am shocked by that revelation you shared with me earlier.
They've been playing some closer games this year. Hoover has. That streak was long of not only shut out, but
43 in a row in-state wins. You know, they go out and play great teams all over the country.
Yeah, they like all the Alabama teams not good enough. We got to hunt somewhere else.
Well, it's tough to get scheduled. It's tough to schedule
I wouldn't
region
schedule
games.
them either.
Bryant gives it off. Osmond to the 30. Of course, Bart Sessions, former coach at McGill and assistant several stops down here. And
he's a guy that has it.
Defensive coordinator at Spain Park. And
you've always loved his work.
He got that IT. Whatever that IT is, that dude has it.
He gets guys to play.
He does.
Especially on that defensive side of the ball. We saw it at McGill. I mean, the way they played at Daphne. Davidson is a defensive coordinator.
That's the way UMS-Wright is playing tonight, by the way.
Yep. Bryant. All kinds. Now he just flips it up. Not a receiver around. That's got to be intentional grounding. There's not a receiver around him there.
Are they going to rule him outside? Yeah.
Out of the pocket, though?
Yeah. He had a guy. He just didn't feel confident about sticking it in there.
He was 15 of 17 last week against Saraland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
He hadn't had a chance to be.
No. UMS-Wright is really, really good.
He's just 2 of 5 tonight.
And people aren't open.
No.
I don't know where the 2 came from.
Well, he had a guy in. He just wasn't confident about putting it in there. I guess that interception earlier has got him a bit tender.
Now 3rd and 8. Oh, that one almost came loose. Wow. As Bryant was trying to give it off to Osmond, and that thing kind of was at the side of his ribs when the exchange took place. And now 4th and about 5, and you have to start wondering, will Thomasville start going? Look at
that, man.
I'll tell you what, Coach Hankins on these 3rd down plays, he's been very conservative on it. I mean, he's not turning them loose.
Yeah, I think right now he's just trying to survive the half, Vic.
Well, he's not surviving it, Dan. That's what I'm saying. The ship is sunk.
At this point, he's trying to be careful not to give, and he almost turned it over on a conservative play.
Darian Neville's again on the punt. Barber at the 42. Pressure. Neville's gets off, got a good kickoff, chases Barber all the way back to the 35. Barber's got a hole on the right side. He's got 2 touchdowns this year on punt returns. Looking for number 3, and he gets pulled over from behind, but he's up to the 27-yard line.
Dan, I'm starting to think punts are not conservative for him.
Yeah, side judge Jim Bibby throws a flag because one of the Thomasville kids was chirping at him.
It's Hayes. Last time he was on the sideline, Hayes had a lot to say, and I know that UMS-Wright was probably just chirping back saying, just check the scoreboard.
Yeah, Dunn makes the tackle, comes from behind and gets him, and then gets up and there's some taunting after the play from Thomasville, and taunting when you're down 32 in the first half.
Yeah, you might want to just go ahead and
there's Hayes over there in the middle of it.
And the kids in suits are loving it.
Yeah, it was definitely something said. It wasn't a hit. It was after the play. And Jim Bibby, as soon as he heard it, he threw the flag there.
And the crowd knows they're going to get extra yardage out of this punt. Set them up in great field position. Playing it safe is almost dangerous for them putting anybody on the field.
We'll listen in here to get the call.
Dead ball, unsportsmanlike on the defense. Dead ball, unsportsmanlike over here. Those penalties will go offset. Replay it down.
Yeah, I'm sure it was, one thing was said and another was said.
Yeah, a little extra push in there after the penalty play's over too.
But you can see 24 Hayes is like right there in the face of the Dogs, and Terry's trying to bring his guys
and Barber
back.
all 5'7" to him. He's not going to back down from anybody.
No, but wow, just the frustration level for a very proud Thomasville team.
And now this flag over on the Thomasville sideline.
There'll only be something with Coach Hankins on that deal. Sideline warning.
Well, Hankins been away from the action because it's been happening over on this sideline.
Yep. We've had a bit of everything in the first half of this game.
Yeah.
Especially from the UMS side. There's Jack Hankins.
Jack's trying to kind of keep it together now. I mean, he knows that there's a lot of water on the ship, right? So he's just trying to say, okay.
Keeper. Allen, there's a flag for a hold.
Cool the UMS Jets a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good call by the ref because that hold actually affected the play.
Yeah, Vic was signaling for it before the flag came out.
He saw it.
Yeah. Vic saw it.
Yeah, I didn't think he was going to call it. The flag was so
Once
late.
he turned the corner, it's like, wow, you really got to throw that flag.
Let me get that back here.
It's funny, you see Terry Curtis down on the sidelines, and he's at the, right by the second grab right there. He's always been a coach, no headset. We've never seen Terry Curtis with a headset on talking to the booth. It's just.
But when he speaks, his voice is so distinctive. You know it's him talking, and I bet those coaches know it.
Yeah, it's just a no feedback from the press box on the offensive. Terry calls all the plays offensively, and just no communication. Yeah, really.
You think he needs to consult anybody with his record?
No, he's got assistants down there. Brandon Dean's next to him. He's got a headset on, but it's just you just don't see coaches without that form of communication.
I think Dean will tell him what the coaches in the booth are seeing, but it's not directly to Terry. He'd rather have control and conversations with his players.
Yep.
Oftentimes that's what Stallings and Johnny Majors.
There you go.
Tanner Allen brought down by Zach Woodard.
Oh, he's a good player.
Although I have seen Johnny Majors put it on when we've got him deep in the hole when we played him a few times. He'll start getting into it then.
See, UMS just happy to kind of let the clock run out here and take a 32-0 lead into the half. And
as the kids would say, you think?
Yeah. They don't want to. Emotions will run a little high there, so they'll just kind of let everything be there. And
go get a Powerade and calm down, huh?
Ashley shed a block there to get Curtis, who was kind of looking the other way, and she was able to get in front and slow up TC. As we'll send it down for another Orthopedic Group sideline report. Ashley's with Terry Curtis.
Coach Curtis, this has been pure domination in the first half. Where do you want to go from here?
Well, we want to get this game over with. It's getting a little chippy out there, and we got a big lead, but we got to come back. Thomasville's got a lot of tradition, and they're not going to just lay over and quit yet. They got a lot of pride, and we got to come out second half and keep the momentum and finish the game.
Can we expect to see your other string starting the third quarter?
No, we will play our first string, at least the first series. We'll see how it goes from there.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Coach Curtis with the lead at 32-0 here. A very impressive performance in the first 2 quarters. And, I mean, just but we hadn't seen him, and
now we have.
Wow, and UMS. Take a look at our Player of the Week from last week. Anthony Philon, Defensive Player of the Week from McGill. He had a great game. And he had his hands full holding this Leopards team. They actually won 17-14, but boy, holding that offense down, the defense from McGill did a really good job.
Yeah, they did, because their offense really had a hard time getting out of the blocks. But McGill, again, they were really solid defensively.
Yeah, Philon.
They're going to be a factor all the way through.
No doubt, no doubt. So we'll have 3 players at the end of tonight's game for you to vote on. Go to local15tv.com, our Advanced Collision Player of the Game, and going to be all UMS at this point. So we'll give you more about that as we get ready for halftime here on Old Shell Road. It's homecoming, and it's all Bulldogs on the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week. Halftime here at UMS, as you can see, homecoming this week, and Terry Curtis was talking to the postgame show. He said you hate to have a game like this on your homecoming schedule because there's so much that goes on, but it doesn't seem to have affected the Bulldogs at all as far as they're on top 32-0. We heard about the Thomasville Scholastic Athlete of the Week earlier this week. Ashley had a chance to catch up with the Scholastic Athlete of the Week from UMS-Wright.
I am here this week with Henry Van Hannigan of UMS-Wright High School for our Scholastic Athlete of the Week. Congratulations. As a senior, you told me you have been at UMS ever since grade school. How has that school prepared you for what's up ahead?
I think what prepares us best at UMS is the difficulty of the classes and the amount of work we have to do. As much as we complain about it, it really prepares us well for the amount of work we'll have to do in college and later on in life.
On a lighter, more fun side of UMS, it is homecoming week. And tell me, what's your favorite memory? What's your favorite event that y'all do there?
When I was little in grade school and kindergarten and in elementary school, we would vote for Mr. Hero out of all the seniors. And now, being a senior myself, I get to be in that vote, and it's just an exciting thing to come back to that as a senior.
And it's like I was telling you earlier, hopefully my little kindergartner voted for you today. Well, on behalf of the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara, I'd like to award you this plaque and also a $250 scholarship that you will be receiving. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Henry was stumping for votes there at Eastern Shore Hyundai as we got ready for this. So our senior Scholastic Athlete of the Week plays football and basketball, 4.09 GPA, a 34 on the ACT and AP Scholar. And what a fine young man. Had a great chance to meet him this week and plays on the UMS-Wright football team on defense. And congratulations to him, 34 on the ACT. That's 2 points more than the Bulldogs have here in the first half. It's halftime on our Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week. UMS-Wright up big over their rivals from up north, Thomasville, 32-0. Battle of unbeatens in region play here tonight, and Thomasville came in 3-0 in the region. UMS 2-0, and it looks like UMS is going to be 3-0, and Thomasville going to be 3-1. Some other scores to pass along at the half. McGill leading Bryant 27-3. Good one out in Sims tonight. Theodore, a 7-0 lead over Mary G at the half. Spanish Fort up big in their matchup as well. So see the score here, our Pepsi halftime show. Looks like we are going to have a performance by the UMS band here at the half. So here on the Pepsi halftime show, let's send it on down to the field and enjoy some of the UMS band. Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers game of the week here on UTV 44. Wow, it's been all UMS-Wright. I mean, just total domination, offense, defense, and special teams, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, one thing you got to keep an eye on, too, is you got 2 quarters of football left. A very proud team and program from Thomasville. And a shout-out to all those Thomasville fans watching tonight thinking, man, we didn't expect this. Things got a little chippy at the end of the first half. They want to get through these 2 quarters, right, without anything worse happening. So something the coaches are going to keep an eye on.
Yeah, I'm sure they went in and said, hey, let's just calm down, get out of this football game from the UMS side, and then from the Thomasville side, let's say, hey, we still got a half. Let's go out here and play and have some respect.
Yeah, Chauncey Collier with his first 2 touchdown catches in the first half there to open things up. Matthews for a touchdown, and it was quickly becoming all UMS-Wright. Collier, a second touchdown on the night on his reception, makes it a 3-score game there. And then going up top, Easton Russ with a touchdown reception, and the Bulldogs are really rolling. The bad snap here. Nevels can't get it off. The ball squirts loose. Goff finds the loose ball, and the Bulldogs score a special teams touchdown. And this one has been all UMS. Total offense, 28 yards in the first half.
The only thing that they're missing is a defensive touchdown for UMS. Everything else, check, 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 check. UMS has dominated.
UMS jumped out early, and they've been in control of this one. And Thomasville will get the ball to start the second half, and they're going to need to get something going right away. Good kick. Goes into the end zone. Something right over Hosea's head. And coming out for the 20 is where Thomasville will start. Anything to get some momentum going. I mean, just anything. They hadn't been able to sustain a drive. Only a couple of first downs in that first half.
Well, you know, you hear this. It is cliche after a while, but, you know, it starts at the line of scrimmage.
Yep.
They're not blocking anybody. They're not giving this offense a chance from the snap of the ball.
There's Coach Hankins. Sends Chad Bryan, his junior quarterback, back out there for the Tigers from the 20.
Let's see if the halftime adjustments work.
And Thomas Aturbe meets Bryant right at the line of scrimmage like he's done many times in the first half.
Yeah, UMS also has got a sprinkling of some big, strong athletes, too, along with the players that always fit in well and know exactly where to be. You can just see the coaching dripping off them, but they've got some big, solid guys, too, athletic and strong.
Yeah, missing a couple of key players out there as well. Paul Jackson hurt his ACL as Bryant keeps this one, and he's going to have a Thomasville first down across the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that's the first time that play has really been successful. For some reason, they feel comfortable running it and calling it. And maybe the coaches are seeing something there and just they finally executed it on the football field.
Talk about what we were saying, you know, on that defensive line, Paul Jackson, 6'1", 251 senior who's played a bunch. Timothy Squire, 6'3", 220 senior, also has played a bunch. Both out of the lineup. Bryant looking over the middle of the field, able to get that one complete right at midfield, and first down, and the biggest play of the night for Thomasville as Hosea is bounced out of bounds at the 35-yard line, then slid down right near the bench.
Yeah, right in front of the police officer, and
Hosea went.
Don't look too concerned, but let's hope that young man's okay. Probably.
Kind of lost his, you know, got his cleats on the turf there, and then I think may have even touched a little bit of the concrete in front of the track is where you really lose the traction. So
he was down and out by then. By the time he got to the bench, he was just sliding.
He was definitely safe.
Great play, though. Huh? Let's talk about the play itself, Vic.
Yeah, he finally found the guy wide open, and he was confident enough to go ahead and let it go. And that little shove there, he just loses his foot in there on that turf and then hits the bench.
Ooh, that's awkward. That could have been, could have been ugly.
Yeah. He's okay and up on his feet.
Bryant on the right side gets away from Walker Chandler, but then tries to turn the corner, and Trewick is there for the Bulldogs.
Initially looked like there was a good read on that one to pull it, but Chandler just comes out of nowhere and say, hey,
he does. He does a little. I was thinking the same thing. He just shows up.
Yeah, and that's what the coaches say. He's got that innate ability to find the football. Says he almost seems to know the play by the time they line up.
Terry Curtis says he's the most prepared player on his UMS-Wright team that he's had for years.
And there he goes again.
Yep. Snap, he kind of bobbled it up in the air, and that gives Chandler just time to get in there.
He didn't get the snap clean, and Chandler says, hey, well, you're not going to take it. I'll take it, or I'll take you down.
5 or 6 maroon shirts right there.
John Blankenship was in there, helping to break things up also.
I hope his loss isn't hurting the soccer team. He's playing pretty well out here.
He's giving chase right now, and he'll wrap him up from behind, and he's got him.
Well, he competes.
It really does. And he's still raw. I mean, just a raw, hadn't played football since middle school.
Yeah, so we were in the locker room early, and the offense had come out on the field, and he was sitting there with his helmet off. Big, strong-looking kid with long red hair. And I said to Terry, now, who was the red-headed kid? And he said, that's the soccer guy I was telling you about.
Comes out, plays with a lot of energy.
He really does.
4th and 13, and the Thomasville is just down 32-0. They're going to go for it here. Bryant
showing up.
Gets away from Blankenship, but then trips with the pressure.
I'm going to tell you guys, I think he had a couple of options in terms of his receivers, but he just didn't want to turn it loose. He's just not confident about slipping it in even a decent-sized window, not a tight one. So I don't know what's going on with him, man, but they've got him gun-shy, the UMS Bulldogs. We credit them. They play good defense. They've already got a turnover in terms of an interception, so that can make you shy.
And Brian's feeling the pressure. He's sensing it, expecting it, really.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good way to put it.
Tanner Allen gives it off.
Wow.
Michael Matthews into Thomasville territory to the 48-yard line. Ja'Cory Lee makes the stop.
Matthews, one of those, physical guys. Now, he was out all last year with ACL.
Yep.
But a big physical back. You've got the big physical athletic tight end. A couple of parts that UMS-Wright didn't always have.
You're right.
And a big line.
But the years they've won state, they've had it.
Mm-hmm. And the run, we were talking about running backs in the past, and I'll get around to that too, some of the finer ones we've seen here.
Matthews, a first down and more to the 37-yard line.
When he's in space, he's got quicker feet than you think, too.
Yeah, he does. Got that nice little lean that your boy Herschel usually have going forward.
The thing about Herschel is he still has it.
Picks up 15 to the 37-yard line.
Well, you probably still can't tackle Herschel right now.
Actually, that was an 11-yard gain, my mistake. Up to the 37, another set of downs here for the Bulldogs. Allen wants to keep this one. He goes off the right side, and he'll get to the 31, picks up 6.
Little intel on Allen, too. He's such a good baseball player. He's already committed to LSU as a center fielder.
Wow.
He's got the really nice arm, and you can see he's got good feet, great instincts as a center fielder, and a great bat. And there's talk here that he may never end up at LSU because of being drafted high up. He's that good.
Just a junior, 6'0", 170 pounds.
It really just wants to play football. Doesn't have to.
Matthews drops the shoulder and gets to the 25-yard line. Put the hit on Ja'Cory Lee.
Talk about finishing a run.
Man.
Hammer, meet nail.
Yeah. So these nails can say ouch. And they will. Watch it again. Watch the shoulder right there. Ooh.
Picks up 2 more after the contact.
You coming up on him, you better be bringing the funk, because he is.
It's a first down for the Bulldogs. Clock running, already approaching 7 minutes to go here in the third quarter. And penetration tripped up there.
Next time that
Javen Pate makes the stop.
Next time Matthews and Woodard meet in the hole, the lights may go out. Because those are a couple of guys that play with a lot of force.
Well, I think we're gonna see a few more collisions, because I doubt Coach Curtis puts it in the air unless they get really third down. Right now, he's just giving them a dose of this running game, and I don't blame him.
Thomasville taking a timeout.
I like that kid, though, right there.
6:39 to go in the third. And Jack Hankins didn't like the way this drive was going, so he calls a timeout.
You know, we haven't had tonight. Heat timeout.
Yeah, we not have. I wonder if we'll have any more this season. Of course, it could be, 90 next.
Yeah.
We'll have to check it with Chris Dunn to find out what it's going to be like. All right, let's get another Faulkner State Community College Educator Spotlight. Ashley's on the sideline to talk some UMS-Wright academics.
That is right. I'm with Dr. Tony Havard, the headmaster at UMS, and I've noticed there's a lot of construction going on here. Tell us a little bit of what's going on.
Well, the main building that we're constructing right now is a new 5th and 6th grade building. We intend to move our 5th grade into the middle school and really kind of combine 5th and 6th grades. And then we're also doing a major renovation on the media center, which is we call Robert's Library. So that's very exciting to us, and we've just had a good year. Lots going on.
I was going to say, that is, we're on the athletes right now talking about them, but just let's brag a little bit. I know you've had a lot of education awards being awarded to UMS.
Well, we've, over the last year, when you combine last year's senior class, this year's senior class, we've got 63 AP scholars, which is extraordinary, thinking about a school this size. Also, in those two classes, last year we had 83 seniors, and out of those 83, 30 of them made a 30 or higher on their ACT. This year we have 86, and we've already got 32 who've done that. So, and that's a lot of them are here on this field and up there in the band, and we're very pleased with our academic program.
Multi-talented.
Multi-talented.
So what is, really quick, what is the secret?
Well, I think the secret is creating a culture here where people believe in trying to put forth your maximum effort. And, you don't make excuses, whether you're a K-5 student or a senior. You learn to internalize a belief that you're always doing your best, and when things don't turn out right, you don't make excuses, you try harder.
Great. Well, thank you so much for talking with us.
Thank y'all for covering the game.
Thank you.
Havard been a great supporter of ours for years and years. Good to see him be back here at UMS as Matthews is down inside the 5. Cutter Stimson had the reception to set him up down here, and Papa John's delivery zone for the Bulldogs here as you can text the promo code RIVALS. Get 2 large, 2 topping pizzas for only $7.77 each.
Back in the day, me and my brothers, if they were aware of us back in the 70s, there would just be a sign outside UMS-Wright that would say, Brennan's need not apply. Just, walk on by, son.
Yeah, he gets maximum support here.
They give it to Trewick, and the linebacker goes in for the touchdown.
And they're getting the maximum effort out of their athletics right now with this football team, too.
Boy, just an impressive drive, and KJ Trewick comes in and takes the handoff, and it's a little throwing a little bone to the Bulldog there for all the work he does defensively and all the blocks he lays in the short yardage situations.
This young guy's been playing a long time, a lot of snaps through the years, and he does get a little thanks right there.
Yep. Will Maitre to come on to try the point after here as we're getting down close to 5 minutes to go in the third. And the kick is good. And UMS continues to dominate now 39-0 over Thomasville. Here in our Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week on UTV 44. Another touchdown for the Bulldogs to extend their lead to 39-0. 8 plays, 54 yards, just under 4 minutes. Just kept it on the ground, threw it when they had to, just one time on the drive. And there's the gain to Cutter Stimson and set up the touchdown for KJ Trewick to get the score.
I don't think we could be any more impressed with what we've seen out of UMS-Wright for the first time this year.
Will Maitre get the kickoff duties as well here.
Kick comes loose, ball loose, recovered by the Bulldogs. Short kick came loose, Bulldogs recover it, and it's Chauncey Collier coming up with a loose ball in the second turnover on special teams tonight.
He's just a kid. I don't want to get on him too bad, but 24, who could have taken a lot of time over on this sideline to do a lot of chirping. He's not saying anything this time.
And that's that perfect little gray area there that Will Maitre put the football. in front of the upbacks, behind the front line.
UMS was the first ones to really do that, and they've been doing it for a long time here under Coach Curse. Always had the kickers who would diagonally, directionally kick it toward the sidelines, make a play. And now Will Chapman going to come in. Ty Riccone in the backfield as well, and Chapman, Hayden Dunn trying to pull it away, and Chapman gets it to the 30. So Terry calls off the dogs, literally.
And the kicker goes from kicking Will Maitre to wide out here, so he's getting him a little time at receiver. To make the Maitre's happy.
Tell you about who brings high school football every week. It's Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers. Accident victims call 911, get a police report, and seek medical attention. Victims get on an average 3.5 times more compensation with an attorney. Local lawyers, they live and work right here in the community. No appointment needed to go see Green and Phillips ever. No parking fees when you head to their office as well. And we thank them for stepping up, being part of high school football.
Absolutely.
This year on UTV 44.
Glad to have them aboard.
I got a special thank you I've got to throw out.
Sure.
Raymond Wilson on our crew. Raymond, big part of our crew, always here. Grabbed my sunglasses I left in the press box last week. I hadn't lost a pair of sunglasses.
Now that's important.
In over 20 years, and I panicked on Saturday morning, texting Jared, said I left my glasses in the booth at McGill. Raymond picked them up, had them for me.
Yeah.
But I've been there, Jim. Been there, Jim.
I sat on 4 pair last week.
That's why I buy cheap ones.
Yeah. Jim's like Ripken. He just got the streak going.
Riccone to the 20-yard line.
But
he's going
I'll
to
tell
have
you
it.
who saved me was Brian. He got my sunglasses. Our good guy, Brian Aaron, he had my sunglasses.
So you left him here one of the 2 weeks he's been here this season, Vic?
Last year.
Oh, okay.
And, man, I was hunting him down on Monday morning.
And when the game gets to be 39-0, we start talking about fashionable eyewear left behind.
Yeah. Well, we're going to start talking about some of these young Bulldogs on the field here and see how Thomasville holds up against them.
Yeah, Will Chapman, the sophomore, getting some meaningful minutes. Will Courtney in at fullback, and they'll give it to Courtney. Courtney gets stood up at the line of scrimmage there on first down as we approach 3 minutes to go.
I always wonder how there's not more leg injuries on those plays when guys are stood up and the pile is still pushing and people are going at all sorts of angles at their bodies. Got big guys like this just laying shots.
Well, that was how I got my injuries at Alabama. When you're in that pile and you get shot in there, it does not feel good.
No, you're just a victim, right?
Exactly, and it's usually friendly fire.
Right, right. You see that a lot with linemen, too.
Blunt leads Robertsdale 28-7. LaFleur leads Gulf Shores 6-0. Baker and Foley are tied at 7. As Riccone inside the 15. More scores here. Theodore leads Mary G 14-0. Viger and Jackson tied at 14 up in Jackson tonight.
Riccone's look good with the ball in his hands.
He runs with some authority there when he gets his opportunity.
Yeah, he does.
He's just a junior.
We see him next year getting a few carries.
Of course, the guy in front of him is just a junior, too.
Oh, yeah. So he maybe earned the opportunity to give him a break. Always good to come in with 2 good running backs.
This Thomasville team going to have back-to-back losses as Skipper Snipes now comes in to take a snap here at quarterback.
Oh, it's a big game tomorrow, too. Everybody talking about Georgia, Alabama. For this town, for the campus just out west.
Absolutely.
South Alabama at Troy, their first Sun Belt game.
Playing for the belt.
Playing for the belt, and both those teams, you know, Troy's a whole lot better than they were last year under Neil Brown, who was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky, and I think he has kind of righted the ship there. He was an offensive coordinator for that team under Blakely, ended up at Kentucky, and now comes back as the head guy. So the South will have all they want at Troy tomorrow night.
Chapman back in at quarterback. He goes on a hard count, and Thomasville moved first, and there's some movement on the left side of the line for the Bulldogs. And I think Thomasville was the guilty party first. And
you know, Dan, I thought you were going to bring up the San Jose State game. I thought you were going to talk about how big that is for San Jose State.
I'll let you bring that one up.
Oh, they do?
Because that's going to be a big game for some folks around here, too.
Oh, no doubt. I mean, it's a big game, and that, you know, Auburn's got to get it right? They're really floundering right now.
The flag was against UMS, so we'll go back to the 15 here. First and goal from the 15 for the Bulldogs. Courtney stood up in the hole and dropped at the line of scrimmage. Woodard in there to make the tackle for Thomasville.
Nice, good, clean tackle there by Woodard, putting his face mask in his chest.
The belly trap play was, it was invented in like the 1600s.
And it's still effective in
Play's been
some
around
places today.
Yeah. If you block it right, every play's effective.
Yeah, that's right.
Snipes.
Execution.
Snipes back in at quarterback. Coney on the right side. Dives forward down to about the 7.
Good block. Good block by the fullback right there, Courtney.
You know, obviously the big game tomorrow, Alabama, Georgia. Big fan and viewer of high school football, Uncle Henry, each week here. It's like some taunting. It's like people have been kind of taunting him, it seems, this week a little bit leading up to the game.
Well, he's made his way over to KSJ, 95 KSJ, and he has filed a number of complaints, I can tell you that. And it's a shame because people shouldn't act like that.
Well, I got to get on there with Uncle Henry so we can hate on that other bunch a while. You got to invite me back on.
We are through 3. Green and Phillips Interlawyers game of the week. It's all Bulldogs here on homecoming. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Ashley Pope on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, Brian Aaron, our statistician, here with us in the booth as we start the fourth quarter, 3rd and 7.
Brian's only been with us 14 years, Jim. Come on.
Chapman gives it to Riccone.
Brian's good at getting those sunglasses back, too.
And the stats.
Attendance has been a little shaky for him this year. Shaky, but you know, he's always on the depth chart that Jared puts out at the beginning of the week.
Yeah.
Questionable.
This is the small part of his life. Everything else is big.
DNP, a lot of DNPs this year.
Coach's decision. 4th and goal from the 3.
We always love it when he's here, though.
Snipes out of the shotgun. He's got Riccone with him. Gives it to Riccone on the left side. Riccone hit, and he's going to be stopped at the goal line.
That's our
good
guy
play
right
by
there.
Woodard.
Yeah, that's Woodard. He's a really good-looking player.
Yeah, he's still playing no matter what the score is, and
saw a
meets
little
him
hole
right there in the hole.
Wow, stops him just inside the 1.
About 12 inches or less.
And now Thomasville will have 99 and a half to go to start this drive. How about the game we've got next week coming up?
Incredible.
Something's a brewing, huh?
6A matchup. Blunt and Spanish Fort going to both come in unbeaten, and that atmosphere is going to be electric on the hill.
Get your parking spaces now. Well, no, most of them are reserved over there.
I could squeeze some folks in the front yard, you know, if you have somebody out
You'll
there
sell
taking
a few tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
A little Birdville action, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Yes.
good for you. Claiming the cash on game night. Coxie.
It's a big game.
It is a big game.
Big game. So,
but you love your lawn.
Thomasville give it off. Hosea, does he get out of the end zone? He does get to the 1, says the officials. He got just out. No, now they're going to say it is a safety. Wow. Vic Lockett predicted that to start the drive. Said, watch UMS bring some pressure, and KJ Trewick gets it.
There you go.
The defense now has gotten in on the score.
Yep.
They contributed 2 points.
Well, Trewick now, he's contributed 8.
Yeah, he's got a touchdown and a safety. Boy, that wasn't even close to getting back to the line of scrimmage.
I don't even know if Trewick was in on that, but I can tell you that there plenty of Bulldogs were, including the guy that we have learned to really respect quickly tonight. Walker Chandler was back there again.
You know, this is one thing Terry Curtis has always been so good at, getting all of his kids in games. You know, he was talked about for years. He's talked about that hey, these kids work their tails off in practice, the ones who don't start. This is their time. This is their time to get out there and play on a Friday night on TV.
And then you can say, hey, they've got game experience by the time that it is their opportunity to play. So good coaching, that's how you create that dynasty.
It works in every way, and then you'll look at the scoreboard, and it may not be as There's a kick play, man. It may not be as impressive a score in the very end, Vic, because things have kind of evened out. But maybe his second and third teamers are in, and the other team's trying to salvage some pride and get some on the scoreboard.
Sure.
But even tonight now, their reserves are playing great.
And now we're going to see Jonas Kopen on to kick here for Thomasville, exchange student from Denmark, on here to kick. He's got a big leg. He was nailing from more than 40 in pregame, and he's going to do the free kick here for the Thomasville Tigers.
He's so new to the country, he thinks they're winning.
Nobody's going to tell him anything different.
Brought the yellow shoes over with him. And a good kick. Riccone takes it at the 24. A lot of speed right ahead. Riccone up the middle, and he goes right by the Great Dane inside the 20. 76-yard Bulldog touchdown.
Unbelievable.
Well, he hits the hole with authority, and that's what you want on kickoff. Somebody that's going to go in there and act like, you're running through a brick wall and you're very capable of doing it. He does it right here. He just runs there and, he just doesn't stop. He doesn't make any cuts or anything.
Virtually untouched.
He's got sprinter's form. I don't know if he's got sprinter's speed, but he really...
Well, they let him practice it there because he didn't touch him, as Jim talked about.
Riccone with the touchdown.
And he's the backup kickoff returner, right?
Yeah.
And people look in the paper tomorrow and say maybe Coach Curtis ran the score up, but no, he's playing his roster.
Third kick the Bulldogs have returned for touchdowns this year.
So every phase has been a score or two for this UMS football team.
Got a flag here.
That's 2 on special teams and 1 defensively.
A safety as well?
Yeah, that's the 1 defensively.
Okay.
And I can't even count that high in terms of the offense. I need Jim to do that.
That's a bunch for the Bulldogs here tonight.
And he's going to keep it simple and say bunch.
Yeah.
I could have did that, Jim.
So this will to make it 48-0 in favor of UMS.
Wow.
And actually, give the kicker
that's good
his due because it's not Maitre. They have brought in William Percy, a freshman who makes the PAT.
Hey, as they say, that one would have been good from 11.
and he'll want a copy of this game. And he gets Jim Cox to call his name for making a PAT.
Yeah, he came in and got it. So this one all UMS, and we'll tell you about
lightly.
Another one of our friends of the broadcast here on Friday nights, Coastal Clinical Research, dedicated leader in the pharmaceutical research industry, currently enrolling in over 15 different studies. Qualified participants will get medical care, medications, and reimbursements at no charge. No monetary cost to be involved for research participants. Thanks to Coastal Clinical Research for, again, being part of high school football here on UTV 44.
So long, Jack Hankins and his teams in Thomasville were so good at running the football, and they did it in an unconventional way for today's football anyway. Wing T and a lot of misdirection and things. They would just catch people at the wrong angle, it's just like Eddie Guth used to do it at St. Paul's, and that was his bread and butter, and they sure did it well. I know that's not their offensive philosophy at this date and time, but man, oh man, I think they won the state with running it like that.
Really did it well because you don't see it much, so tough to prepare for.
Yeah.
Maitre to kick. Again to the near sidelines, taken at the 22 and out to the 31-yard line. There's lots of Bulldogs out there. Trez Dixon out there, part of the tackle. Maitre, the kicker, down there is cheering on his teammates as Ja'Cory Lee made the catch, and Thomasville ready to get on the bus and head back north and try and regroup after what's going to be back-to-back losses.
Down here in Mobile County.
Yeah, I'm utterly disappointed in this group because, it's just been a lot of fanfare around their program, and he's getting a lot of support up there, and he's the only game in town. I really, Dan, I thought this game would be much more competitive.
Well, I think Jack did too, and UMS has proven to be, everything that the score indicates.
Bryant gives the handoff there. All right, so we talked about the big win at the Met last night up in Hoover. Spain Park, students tore down the goalpost there, and so of course the field is kind of a temporary setup each Friday night for the games for Hoover. But last night Hoover was shut out by Spain Park. Prior to that, when was the last time they were held scoreless? You got to go way back.
I can't even remember the last time they lost.
That was 43 in a row in state. The last time they were held scoreless, you have to go all the way back to 1991.
Wow.
Hewitt-Trussville did 321 games, and they weren't even Hoover then. They were Barry.
That's what I was going to say.
They were.
I didn't know that Hoover was around in 91.
Barry, yeah. And so they became Hoover. And the new school, 321 games. That is amazing.
Barry is where the Auburn quarterback that you competed against, I think, went to high school.
Was it Stan White?
Stan White. So I didn't realize Stan White went to the school that was basically pre-Hoover.
Right.
Barry High School.
So he can say he built Hoover, huh?
Yeah. That is some stat. Not shut out since 90. That's kind of ridiculous, isn't it? Since 91.
It's kind of like Alabama not being an underdog till we get ready to play the Bulldogs this weekend, huh?
Could be a good one tomorrow.
Let's just say Dan and I will not be watching that game together.
You know, I watch it solo, and my dog gets so flustered with me, he goes outside.
Your Bulldog goes outside.
Well, he's not a Bulldog, believe me.
Neville's to kick. High snap, does a good job to pull it down and gets a good kickoff. Barber looking for it. He's going to want to pick it up. Oh, you know he wanted to grab it and just take it back. You know, after meeting Grant Barber, and that one, great punt all the way back inside the 5. So, you know, we get emails to, hey, guys. So, obviously, we need to, probably
I
need
don't
to change.
think Ashley has enough food in her whole house.
He was invited. Those behind the scenes. Dick was invited to the Alabama game.
Oh, well, I was going to say maybe we need to change it to something else because somebody commenting on Ashley and her pretty smile down on the sidelines. And it wasn't
have some great pearlies.
It wasn't Uncle Henry who was emailing in either. So,
Uncle Henry said he was not going to email in today.
Is he bitter?
It's personal reasons.
I know he's watching.
Yeah, he's watching, all right.
Uncle Henry, that's my guy. I could watch the game with him for sure.
Really? Y'all have anything in common, Vic? Really, you think? Just a little, maybe?
Those who don't know, Uncle Henry is a world-class air personality on AM 710 in the mornings, and he visits Shelby 995 KSJ, and he's a well-known guy around here.
Russell Kraft, just back from Palm Beach tonight. Turns on the TV, and Russell's back from Palm Beach.
Well, welcome back, Russell.
Yeah, they're watching TV. So 2nd and 9 as we're down to 8 minutes to go here. Snipes, the freshman, give out to about the 4-yard line. Jaden Roberson in with the carry.
All right, guys. We don't want to just turn a blind eye to what's going on the field here, but we can't help but kind of fast forward a little bit in our minds to next week, what we're going to see at Spanish Fort as Blunt rolls in. These two powers undefeated in 6A.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. Both teams going to come in undefeated, as we said, undefeated in the region. It's just going to be, I mean, saw that great offense being run by Spanish Fort. Of course, Blunt scores a gazillion and 4 points each week, it seems like. But the two defenses also so great. I can't wait. I can't wait for the matchup.
They just seem like immovable forces, you know, both of them. Tyler Johnston against that Blunt defense.
Something has to give.
Something's got to give.
Yeah, and we saw, McGill slowed him down. McGill plays very good assignment football defensively. They don't have a lot of breakdowns. You would expect same thing. Spanish Fort plays the same thing.
I think Spanish Fort may have more big-time players on defense.
Yeah.
Actually, some Division I guys than McGill does. It's going to be something to watch.
First UMS punt of the night. Collier, he's done everything else.
He sure has.
So he'll punt. The Bulldogs letting the play clock run down. He'll have to punt from his end zone. It's a good one off. Manquel Burrows charges up at it, but goes to the 36-yard line. Thomasville will come back out and they'll give us a chance to, again, thank more of our friends who are a part of high school football every Friday night on the Green and Phillips Injury Lawyers Game of the Week. Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Department and Drug Education Council. Also Alpha. And our halftime show each and every week brought to you by Pepsi.
Go on down and see Kathy Austin, my aunt, over there at Alpha. Tell her I sent you. She'll probably charge you more.
Well, we can see that you just scored in on your kickback for the night. If you can mask it a little bit. Just a little bit.
Very nice lady, her and her husband Marvin.
Now Thomasville, Corrigan Thibodeau come in at quarterback, and just a freshman.
Yeah, get him some experience as well, because you're going to need to lean on him at some point, if not this year, in the future.
Speaking of Alpha, part of high school football every night, they've proudly been serving their customers since 1946. Auto, home, and life insurance. Hometown agents, outstanding service and quality discounts for all your insurance needs. And outstanding service and prices you can afford. Call Alpha.
Kathy and them are definitely hometown people, her and her husband Marvin.
We appreciate them being a part of high school football.
And you can even quiz her on some football. For a lady, she has very, very good knowledge of football.
You know,
Kathy Austin. You don't find many ladies like that.
Well, there's more down south than anywhere, especially about college football.
She can talk about some college football. She can talk some pro football. So
I'll tell you who
in
looked
between
good last week. The team that came to Latin People's Stadium and played South Alabama. Watch out for NC State.
I heard about them and what they've got going.
Jalen Dickinson, just a sophomore with the carry here for Thomasville as we're inside 5 minutes. You know, we touched on this in the pregame show a little bit, Dan, and talk about how much we've enjoyed working with Terry Curtis for so long. You know, when we first started doing these games, you know, there were some coaches that were excited, and there were some other coaches who were kind of looking at us like, put the games on TV, you know.
A little lukewarm, you'd put it.
Yeah, and because they just didn't see the vision. Terry Curtis, from the first time we met him and said, hey, this is what we're going to be doing, he was all in.
Yeah.
All in.
Well, it's kind of like sharing your homework with somebody. You know, I'm not that proud of my homework, so I wouldn't want to do that. I didn't raise my hand a lot in class. You had some coaches maybe not as proud of their work. Terry knew that his teams were going to compete, and they were going to be ready to play. And they would never embarrass him or the school on TV.
And he thought it was a great way to promote the school, the kids,
Private
everything
school.
about the atmosphere here at UMS-Wright. I mean, he was really...
He got it.
Yeah, he early on.
Come over here, you're going to be on TV, you're going to play quality opponents, you're going to have quality equipment, you're going to get a quality education, you're going to get support from the community.
Some of those stats, by the way.
You want to put that out there.
Some of those, exactly. And some of what Tony Havard had to say about the percentage of their senior classes scoring 30 or greater on the ACT.
Oh.
Incredible.
Yeah. How about this Bulldog team? They haven't lost a regular season region game since 2011 when Thomasville beat them. And I think Coach Curtis wants to see field goal. We'll see what they can do to block the long field goal as Copen will come on.
They got a guy back to return it if it's
this
short.
will be a 46-yard attempt.
Got the wind to its back.
Yep, from Denmark.
The wind's coming from Denmark?
First game this week.
That's pretty cold.
Big leg, bad snap, good kick. And it's just short.
Almost there.
The snap kind of threw the rhythm off a little bit with that low snap.
And I imagine Coach Hankins just trying to get out of here without a goose egg. Get something out of it.
And he's got the kicker to do it.
He's going to need his kicker to make one at some point during the year. More of our friends on high school football here on UTV 44 include the orthopedic group. Also, Advanced Collision and Greer's. They bring us our starting lineup every Friday night here on high school football.
They got a good group of supporters of football this year.
Really
It's been
do.
growing and growing, and
Yep.
fantastic.
It's good to see the hometown market doing it too, joining us. Greer's and Robert Greer, my favorite guys that wear red, white, but he wears that orange and blue too, though.
To about the 26-yard line.
Thomasville complimenting with a lot of their reserves now, too.
Yeah, Roberson with the carry there. As we're coming inside, 3 minutes to go.
Talk about some of those little scat backs. We were having a conversation before the game, and there was bumpers for UMS-Wright. But before him, a guy that won a state title at tailback was Milan Williams.
Yeah, we were talking about that before the game. That's right.
And that's why this guy is different than them. The UMS-Wright Matthews, the tailback, is big and physical. But he may get a state title himself. You know, think about that. Matthews is a junior.
Tanner
Allen is a junior. They've got some guys that are coming back.
You got some offensive. I mean, they got 4 of their starters on the offensive line are juniors.
Unreal.
The cupboard is never bare here at UMS.
But sometimes it's,
not as full?
Not as full. It is really full right now. And again, this defense is playing without 2 of their key defensive linemen, if you can imagine that, because they've owned the line of scrimmage on defense.
They're very well coached there.
Terry Curtis with state championships in 01, 02, 05, 08, and 2012. 5 of them.
He almost got fired in 06. Where's the title?
And you're talking about that defensive line that's coached by Emmanuel King, who was a first-round draft pick from Alabama.
You know, it's so funny.
He does a real good job and really beloved over here.
It's a small world because my friends, Ashton Shepard, who's a great success country singer, she still lives in Clark County, and they are neighbors farm by farm, side by side with Emmanuel King.
How about that?
Yeah. Great guy.
Yeah, he's a fantastic guy. Gets it done here. And,
well, he coaches these guys well, right?
He coaches defensive line.
And does it so well.
Yes. Relates to the kids. Hear about him on and off the field.
When was King at Alabama?
He was up there with Coach Bryant, so he predates me. And I think he's probably around.
Like Joey Jones' age, maybe around there?
Yeah, he's around 50, 52, I think.
Yeah. Well, they look solid there, Jim, huh?
Absolutely. So we're down 2 minutes 15 left, and Bulldogs going to move to 6-0 on the year, and I think some people are going to around the state look around and be like, 48-0 over Thomasville.
Yeah.
Thomasville doesn't get blown out. Thomasville's given up 48 and 42 now in back-to-back weeks.
Eating up the clock as much as they can. Give the fullback a little taste now.
Give up the middle.
He almost popped it. A little trap.
Daniel Dearborn watching the game. Said Arabella's watching the game as well. Says hey to her uncle. He's the red cap in the jacket part of the game, so he's the red hat down on the field. Very important. He's the one to make sure we get our commercials in and out.
Everything starts and stops with him.
It's Daniel, our red hat down there, and Bulldogs, there he is. His night is done, 48-0. Bulldogs with the win over Thomasville here tonight, and Terry Curtis and Jack Hankins will make their way to midfield to Jack Hankins over shaking the hands of some of the Bulldog players. Those two, a lot of respect for one another, and
yeah, you know,
good friends.
This one's probably a little bit on the awkward side with Terry.
Yeah.
It's such a lopsided win, but I tell you what, Terry's group this year, they're special.
Yeah, there's going to be more of these lopsided wins down the stretch for the Bulldogs, and they're very, very impressive night for UMS as they remain perfect on the year and a long bus ride back to Thomasville tonight.
And another guy I want to mention on this UMS staff, Jim Sudahay, who was another one of my coaches, really did a good job of turning me into a player when I was really just a pup.
Coach Sudahay, we've worked with him for long time as well. Let's go down to Ashley. She's got Coach Curtis.
Coach Curtis, congratulations on the homecoming win. What can you say about the shutout?
Well, we played hard like we've been doing, and they wanted to shut out real bad against a good Thomasville team, and and they got it. I mean, I thought we played really well. We were focused. We were tackling well, and what can you say? We were kind of hitting on all cylinders tonight. We were able to run it and throw it, and they were trying to stop us from running. We were able to throw. So it was a big night for us.
Not your typical.
Biggest thing, you got 3-0 in the region.
And not your typical homecoming game either.
Well, no, playing somebody like that, but that's just the way it fell, and our kids were prepared, and I couldn't be more proud of them. I thought we did a great job tonight. So,
like you said, 3-0 in the region. What can we expect in the future out of UMS?
Well, hopefully we're going to be a #1 seed now. So we got 3 more region games, but I feel like we've played 3 of the tougher teams in our region. So we'll see what happens the next 3 weeks here, and play it on out, and hopefully get better and work on ourselves a little bit.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank y'all.
17th year at UMS, 98-9 in the region. I mean, 9 region losses in 17 years.
Well, if this is the way they treat the better teams in the region, I don't know what the rest of the region is in for. I'd hate to think about that. The Hindenburg comes into mind, but they look so good. And Vic was pointing it out, Jim, too. Every possible phase of football, it's like they specialize in all the phases.
Sure, they've scored in every phase of the game. And you talk about the dynasty, Coach Curtis is the emperor of this dynasty.
Yeah, he is. There's nobody better. And, wow, what a great night for his team tonight. Our players of the game nominations. So Chauncey Collier, 3 catches, 104 yards, 2 touchdowns all in the first half. And we've got Michael Matthews, 16 carries, 74 yards and a touchdown. And Allen, great night, 8 of 9, 197 yards, 3 touchdowns for Tanner Allen here tonight.
Everything went through Tanner Allen, and he was magnificent. That offensive line, they sure did block.
Dan Brennan stumping for Tanner Allen for votes early on. He did have a heck of a night.
Tanner Allen to me. Oh, I'm sorry.
So go to local15tv.com to vote on who you would like the player of the week to be, and we will hear from them next week. Victoria's homecoming night for the Bulldogs here tonight. They roll over Thomasville. So for Ashley Pope on the sideline, Jared Kihas in the truck, our entire crew, Brian Aaron in the booth, Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett saying good night from Ervin S. Cooper Stadium, where the Bulldogs are dominant tonight. #1 ranked in 4A, and they showed us why.